The American Civil War, also known by other names, was a civil war in the United States from 1861 to 1865. The Civil War began primarily as a result of the long-standing controversy over the enslavement of black people. The war effectively ended on April 9, 1865, when Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered to Union General Ulysses S. Grant at the Battle of Appomattox Courthouse. The war is one of the most studied and written about episodes in U.S. history, and remains the object of cultural and geographical debate. The American Civil War was among the earliest industrial wars. The mobilization of civilian factories, mines, shipyards, banks, transportation, and food supplies all foreshadowed the impact of industrialization in World War I, World War II, and subsequent conflicts. The American Civil War was the culmination of the struggle between the advocates and opponents of slavery that dated from the founding of the United States. This electional conflict between northern states and slower-held southern states had been tempered by a series of political compromises, but by the late in the 1850, the issue of taxation of slavery to the western states had reached a boiling point. The election of Abraham Lincoln, a member of the anti-slavery Republican Party, as president in 1860, precipitated the secession of 11 southern states, leading to the Civil War.
Naval tactics. During the war, more than 10,000 military confrontations took place, 40% of which went in Virginia and Tennessee. Winfield Scott, the commanding general of USA Army, proposed to President Lincoln to use the tactic of attrition to win the war with the less amount of bloodshed. Such a tactic would be embodied in the Anaconda Plan, which would have two bases. One, to blockade all the ports to weaken the Confederate economy, and two, to take the Mississippi River in order to divide the South into parts. Lincoln accepted the plan, but at the same time, against Scott's suggestions, he ordered an attack on Richmond, eager to end the war as soon as possible.
Diplomacy. Although the Confederacy hoped that Britain and France would join them against the Union, this was never likely, and so they instead tried to bring Britain and France in as mediators. The Union under Lincoln and Secretary of State William H. Seward worked to block this and threaten war if any country officially recognized the existence of the Confederate States of America. In 1861, Saunders voluntarily embargoed. Eastern Theater. The Eastern Theater refers to the military operations east of the Appalachian Mountains, including the states of Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania, the District of Columbia, and the coastal fortifications and seaports of North California.
Power was given to the federal government. Territorial integrity preserved. Destruction and dissolution the Confederate States. Abolition of slavery. Being on the controversy. General characteristic of the Civil War. There was great slavery from the start. The provision of the slavery was given by Abraham Lincoln. The ballot of the Protestant was responsible for starting the war. There were great social differences between the northern and the southern states, mainly because of slavery issues. The southern states developed exploitation of long proprietary implantation. Abraham Lincoln became the president with the idealistic slavery. Northern states could producer of the gold weapons and the standard state and important.